And now, religious legends.
We start with the Hindu religion, which has a fascinating history involving Ocimum teniflorum, aka Tulsi Basil, aka Holy Basil.
Oh, holy Basil, your taste is truly scrumptious.
Tulsi Basil is considered to be the most holy plant in the whole Hindu religion, and it all starts with this big guy. Now, I am obviously not a religious historian, so if I happen to get anything terribly wrong about these stories, please let me know in the comment section down below. I am not trying to offend anybody. Alright, so depending on which story you hear, Verinda and Tulasi or Tulsi are two different people. But from most of the sources I saw, Verinda actually turns into Tulsi. We'll get into more about that later. The story starts with Verinda out for a nice leisurely walk one day. She sees Lord Ganesha and thinks, that boy is fine. Ooh, I'm gonna marry him right there. That's where I'm gonna go, oh yeah. So, Verinda asks Ganesha if he'd like to get hitched, but he politely refuses. Unfortunately, she doesn't take this very well, and she curses Lord Ganesha to get married against his will. Which, of course, leads Lord Ganesha to cursing her back, because he's a god. I mean, he can't let her get away with some mean-spirited curse. So, he curses her to get married to the demon king, Jalandhar, who was born out of the fire of Lord Shiva's third eye. Cool. Unfortunately, Verinda's chastity and her devotion to Lord Vishnu are so pure and awesome that she gives Jalandhar superpowers. And Jalandhar decides he wants to kill the gods. Maybe because they didn't play kickball with him when he was younger, or I don't know, he was probably just too drunk on his power. Either way, he picks a fight with Lord Shiva, which is weird because he's actually part of Lord Shiva. Oh, Nega Shiva.
Can you defeat yourself?
Niggas God.
The rest of the story has several versions, but essentially, Vishnu comes down from the heavens and decides to break up the fight by destroying Verinda's virtue. Damn, that's cold. So, he comes down from the heavens and either gets a little freaky-dicky with her, or has a nice G-rated hug. Either way, it breaks the curse. Once Verinda realizes Vishnu's trick, she decides to kill herself by fire or by drowning, but not before wielding her curse powers one more time and turning Lord Vishnu into a rock. The Shalagram stone, to be specific. So Lord Vishnu is feeling, quite a bit guilty about screwing over his #1 disciple, so he decides to turn her into a symbol to be worshipped for her faithfulness. So he transfers her body into the ground, or just goes poof, there she is, and turns Verinda into Tulsi. Remember we were talking about before where Verinda's getting turned into Tulsi? This is it, Tulsi Basil. Thanks to Vishnu, Tulsi Basil is now known as a symbol of love, eternal life, purification, and protection. Hindus hold the herb sacred, and they can ask for forgiveness whenever they touch it. Every morning, the woman of the house offers water, incense, and flowers to the Tulsi plant. In the evening, oil lamps are lit in front of it. Hindus also have Tulsi plants in the house to act as a protecting spirit for the family. Rosary beads can even be made of the woody stems of the Tulsi plant. Now, it's even used in burial rituals and planted around temples because of its holiness. The British Empire at one time actually used Tulsi basil as a substitute for a Bible, upon which Indians would take an oath in a court of law. Bam! Basil rules. Do people still say bam?
Speaking of Bibles, Christianity and Basil.
Say what? What you talking about, Eric? I ain't never heard of no basil in Christianity. Well then, you should know that basil is often used as a substitute in many branches of Orthodox Christianity when an aspergillum isn't available. That's the thingy that they use to sprinkle holy water. But it's even holier than that. Basil is tied to the ceremony for the elevation of the cross of Jesus Christ. Saint Helena. She's Emperor Constantine's mom. You do know him, right?
Right?
Well, if you don't, you should. He's the guy who legitimized Christianity in the Roman Empire, allowing it to spread across the globe. He also called the Council of Nicaea, which is responsible for a little book called the Bible. Well, his mom, Saint Helena, is said to have been led to the true cross of Christ by a trail of basil. Now, once she arrived at the location, a patch of basil marked the exact spot where Jesus and the two thieves' crosses were buried. But because there were 3 crosses, Saint Helena was like, huh? How am I supposed to know which one it is? So she very cleverly got an ailing woman to kiss all 3 of the crosses. And when she reached the true cross of Christ, boom, she was healed. Though, according to some accounts, she used a dead guy. And when he touched the true cross of Christ, well, he came back to life. There are even some accounts that say basil was growing out of the cross while Jesus was still on it.
Basil. Not just a pretty tasty herb, folks. It's biblical.
And this is why many Christian faiths still use basil to this day for the feast day of the elevation of the cross of Jesus Christ, which is held annually on the 14th of September. It is also used for water consecration during the celebration of Jesus' baptism. In Eastern cultures, young girls are supposed to place a thread of basil under their pillow on the eve of Jesus' baptism. This, of course, is supposed to make them dream about their future spouses. Come on, everybody, let's put some basil under our pillows and dream about our future spouses, unless we've already got one. I guess we'll just dream about who we're with then. I hope. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, please make sure to click the like button and share it with your friends. Also, if you want to find out more about basil and religion, go ahead and look at the links in the description below. My question for today is, have you ever used basil in a religious ceremony? If so, please say so in the comment section down below. Until next time, be kind and use basil.